Welcome to our casa, and today we're making eggplant parmigiana or melanzane alla parmigiana. So we're going to fry up these guys, but before we do that, we want to make sure that they don't soak up all of the oil. So there's a few preparations that we need to do before we move on to that step. Sous chef, so we're looking for about 1/4 of an inch slice. While my sous chef finishes up slicing that second eggplant, I'm going to talk a little bit about melanzane alla parmigiana. Melanzane alla parmigiana is known for its southern Italian roots, but the name alla parmigiana, meaning in the manner of Parma, a town in the north of Italy, or Parmigiano, the Emilia-Romagnan very popular cheese, Parmigiano Reggiano. And even though Parmigiano is in the name and is used in a lot of recipes, it's not a traditional cheese used in this dish. Caciocavallo is the cheese that you'll see used traditionally in the South. Why? Because its region of origin is from Puglia and Campania and Calabria and all those places down there. It's very similar to like a provolone type cheese. Alas, we are going to be using Parmigiano Reggiano in this recipe because that's what we have. And you have to use what you have these days. Can't be stingy. All right, back to the eggplant. How are we doing, sous chef?
Good, good.
Wow.
I started to salt some of them.
We're surrounded by eggplants.
Yes.
All right, so the first step after slicing all your eggplants, getting them all out onto a flat surface, and we need to salt them. The reason why we salt the raw sliced eggplant is so that we can extract almost all of the water that the eggplant has. This is going to really help in the frying process for them not to become little sponges for the oil. So the eggplants are sweating, which takes a good 30 minutes to fully complete. And while we're waiting for them, we're going to start our sauce. Okay, first things first. Olive oil, of course, in the bottom of your pan. Now I'm gonna add 2 cloves of garlic that I've roughly sliced. I really wanna have a nice bite in my sauce. I also am gonna add 1 whole shallot chopped. So when your base of garlic and shallots start to fry up and your kitchen smells like paradise, it's time to add 24 ounces of a passata, or better known as tomato puree. Just like the nonnas do, we're gonna fill it up with a little water, put that lid back on, shake it up, and add it in. While we stir this baby and wait for it to cook, it's not gonna take longer than about 15 minutes for all of the flavors to really penetrate into the tomatoes. I think it's time for some vino. Sir, vino please.
When it comes to wine pairing, I grew up with not so many but certain and simple rules. This is not sommelier or wine expert, but is a result of the environment and the culture I was raised in. So, good or bad, these were the rules. Fish, white wine; meat, red wine; pizza, beer or Coca-Cola. I was having this conversation with my friends in Italy, my brothers, and somebody was saying, with my pizza I drink beer, with my pizza I drink Coca-Cola, but for sure wine is off limits. Imagine the first time I saw somebody enjoying the red wine with the pizza in New York 50 years ago. I was like, I can say my mind has opened up since then, but not too much. So what are we going to pair with a vegetarian dish like egg parm? It lays in meat territory, there's no meat or fish involved, but still it's a robust type of dish, very comforting. I would suggest a big white, full-bodied white wine or a light-bodied red. And we decided to go for the second option, Pinot Noir. Pinot Noir is the world's most popular light red wine. It's very loved for its fruit, for its soft tannins, for its spiced aroma, and for its persisting acidity. It grows nearby Chardonnay vines because they love the same environment, and it's used to make either white, red, making this grape one of the most versatile of all. The wine we're drinking today is from Trentino Alto Adige, from a winemaker called Cembra. The winery is located at an altitude of 2,300 feet, and the vines are even higher, making this winery one of the highest in the whole Europe. The winery was formed in 1952 by a group of locals that decided to put their grapes together and start producing wine. Now more than 400 family wineries form this cooperative, which main values are friendship, working together, and strive to achieve common goals.
Here, here.
To friendship, and I can't wait to try it. Let's open it. Yes, yes, where are you?
Here.
Okay. We love the people that import this wine,
In Austria.
and you can find all the information, where to find it, social media in the description box.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wow, it's a gorgeous wine.
So easy to drink.
Too easy. We should really get to this so we don't drink the whole bottle now. Our sauce has been cooking for about 15 minutes. I'm going to take it off the flame, add 2 pinches of salt, a handful of fresh basil leaves. Mix it all together. And this is going to sit to the side while we fry up the eggplant. You can see the sweating process of the eggplant has completed. There should be just pools of water on all of your eggplant slices. Okay, and you're just gonna take a paper towel and try to get up all that water. Okay, so it's time to fry our eggplant, and we want to use a nice oil that can get up to very high temperature. I'm using a canola, and we're going to fill up our frying pan about 2 inches of oil. When your oil's getting hot, I'm going to use a little eggplant just as a little tester. See how the oil's going.
Okay, look at the ear.
Ew, it does look like an ear. Oh. Once it starts to sizzle, we're ready to add our other eggplant. So it's gonna take about 3 to 4 minutes to get a nice golden brown fried eggplant. Once the eggplant is all fried up, we're ready to cut up some mozzarella and assemble the dish. We like to cut our mozzarella in a nice thin slice. Okay, so we start out bottom with a little sauce. Okay, we're gonna layer the eggplants in there. This is kind of like a little puzzle, and they're all different shapes, so it's actually gonna work out really nicely in covering each little square footage of our baking dish. Now we're gonna add a little bit more sauce on top here. And our fresh mozzarella slices. And a little grated Parmigiano. Put some fresh basil leaves in there. A little bit of sauce on top. And back to the eggplant. All right, our beautiful melanzana alla parmigiana is ready to go in the oven. Now, everything is cooked in here. The eggplant's cooked. The only thing that we need the oven for is to melt this beautiful mozzarella on top and in between all of those wonderful eggplant slices. So I set my oven to 375, and usually it's going to take about 20 minutes, but definitely keep an eye on it. Every oven is different. And if you want a nice crispy cheesy top, I would turn on the broiler about 5 minutes towards the end of your cooking. See you later. So our eggplant parmigiana is out of the oven and we're gonna let it sit for about 15-20 minutes just to let it cool down because it's like lava right now and to get everything settled. Just gonna add some fresh basil on top. Drizzle of olive oil. And because it needs some more cheese, some Parmigiana.
This is gonna be a mess, a complete
Disaster. Super cheesy.
Very, very cheesy.
It's delicious. It might not be the prettiest eggplant parmesan.
No.
I'm not sending it back. Cheers.
Cheers. Super delicious.
Let's relax. Let's relax. Like, subscribe, and ring the bell. And
Stay safe.
stay home. We'll be here in our casa.